can party all night. It's the best of the best, best friend weekend. We can party all night. It's the best of the best, best friend weekend. We can party all night. Shout out the whole podcast crew.
I say, whoa, welcome to the Best Friend Weekend podcast. It's your man, Aldo NICE.
It's your boy Los, a.k.a. C.A.P.
Hey, a long-awaited coming back to Jesus. I said this a lot, man. We've been bringing a lot of oldies but goodies back to the podcast to do our thing during this Rona, during the time that we kind of separated as a people, just to kind of have some conversations and talk about some things that's going on. And we've been hearing from a lot of people that they was ready for Woke Volume 3. We did Woke Part 1 and 2 with myself, my man Duff, my man just Devaughn. And, you know, obviously over the time, I didn't talk to my boy Jamin, fearless innovator from the Black Coffee Company. He said he wanted a piece, and obviously C.A.P, a.k.a. Los. And I know I didn't already introduce everybody, but I'm going to toss it around the circle and let you introduce yourselves again, however you want to do that. Start with my boy Duff, man.
Yo, this is Duff. I'm happy to be back and ready. This is some hard times and just ready to dive in.
All right. Just Devaughn.
Man, this is just Devaughn, in my humble opinion podcast.
Already.
That's all I got.
And the Black Coffee entrepreneur.
Yo, that's me and my daughter Olivia J. Building. I'm 1/5 of the Black Coffee Company, aka the Black Beatles, and we woke as fuck.
Okay.
Already, man. They got t-shirts that say it, so go buy it. So definitely I'm gonna give contact information for you guys to check out in my humble opinion podcast, Black Coffee and the Black Coffee podcast, whatever they got going on right now. So we'll give you the links to make sure that you guys can check out what they're doing. But I want to hop right into it. You know, Woke Part 1 and 2, we talked a lot about race in relations in America, how Black people, the state of the Black America and everything like that. And you could feel it in the wind, right? I mean, I know I'm not the only one. We said it earlier, like last week when we did an interview, that you could feel that some stuff was feeling like a powder keg. As Ahmaud kind of kicked it off, and we knew that some other things were going to be right around it. Do you all guys feel the same way, that y'all been feeling that kind of energy even before the events of the last week?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, things have been kind of popping off in the sense of how COVID has been really bringing a lot of things that we knew as Black people as being racist. Like it's been bubbling, right? Like the fact that like COVID is not affecting everybody all the same. It's killing Black folks more than, you know, or disproportionately killing Black folks. It's also killing Latino folks, but Black folks especially, like all of this stuff has just been kind of bubbling and bubbling and bubbling. And so seeing the video of my boy Ahmaud, you know, or Arbery, you know, getting killed, like I couldn't watch it, right? As much as I try, I couldn't watch it. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to look at another Black man. Fuck that. Like, go get these motherfuckers. But then when Floyd happens, it's like, well, you know, it's too much. It's too much.
I definitely agree with that. I think, you know, as it started out, you know, the cup was kind of half full, and we still getting tired of it. Like, okay, here we go. And I think with Jeffrey, I think the cup runneth over. You know what I mean? It was just like, you know, enough of this, man. I'm sick and tired of watching this, seeing this all the time. And then when you find out, you know, a couple of days after, the man at home, you know, in his house, you know, and then y'all protect him from that. Like, damn, I mean, what else? So, you know, when things start going on and people are complaining, and you know, I had to get off social media for a day because I couldn't stand to see, you know, white people throw up these memes saying, oh, you know, this nigga couldn't breathe, you know, all that type of being funny about it, when, you know, it is nothing funny about it at all, man. Just sick and tired of that, man.
Yeah, I mean like, oh no, I don't know if y'all saw the Steven Jackson interview.
Yeah.
When his reaction was something that, like, I put myself in this boy's shoes. Like, it made me emotional, because it was like, you know, when he found out, when his daughter told him, he said, man, like, it's fuck, like another Black man up out here. But when he found out that it was his partner, I was that could be somebody telling me that's Allen. It could be somebody telling me that's Dick. It could, and I'm thinking, I'm hearing it's another black man. It's just people don't understand how real and how personal this is, and it's already infuriating. But the fact that like this could be, I hear this all the time, and this is where like as black men, it's very personal. This could be me.
Yeah.
This could be me. It could be somebody I know, somebody I love, somebody I interact with. So seeing that interview was just like, damn, like this is how real it is. Like this is not a foreign thing. This is something that touches us every day. And as Los, as you said, the cup runneth over. It's too much.
I mean, I got a policy, and my policy is one time. I watch those videos one time. I just want to see what happened. And then I'm not watching it again because like I'm curious all of the time to see what was the infraction, what led up to it. And each time it gets progressively more bullshit where it's like, damn, this dude lost his life over nothing. And the way you put it is perfect. Like this podcast, we never know. And people don't always understand how precarious the situation of a black man is in America, where this podcast right now, before I finish editing it and putting it out, I might be the next name. Like, and that's the thing that people don't like. People outside of the community don't necessarily always have an appreciation for, and it's just something that always sits with you. It's something that rides in the back of your mind. Like, it's something that you got to take with you to work. And I posted something about that this morning. That's like, I got to take that. I walk with that every day, and I would love to have the freedom of that burden just taken away from me, where I didn't have to walk around with that every day. That sense of what this could be. Jamin, what you got to say about that, man?
Man, I like, in terms of that burden and what it does, that weight, that carrying that, like, we've been carrying that for decades. So when people tell me, oh, don't burn shit down, don't riot, don't protest, I'm like, bro, if somebody kills your dad, your mom, your uncle, your cousin, what do I look like telling you how to react? You're going to react how you react because that's human nature, So looking at these riots and calling and denouncing them and calling them, looters and all that. I mean, they're always going to be troublemakers looking to take advantage of an opportunity. But there is clear as day real pain going on in that city. And the citizens have been feeling it long before they was, we got proof of them killing black folks on the street. Because this officer, mind you, had been brought up on, had been come up in investigations previously and just was let go, Amy Klobuchar and such. So it's like in Minneapolis, Minnesota, that's an area that's been rife with racial tension for a long time. Isn't that where Philando Castile?
Yeah, that's where Castile. That's where the Castile happened.
Yeah. People look at these situations and say, look at black folks, y'all out there rioting again, don't know better, it don't work. I'm like, what works? What works?
Right.
And I don't think it's just that. It's one of those things where people talk about carrying a burden. You kind of become numb to it. Mm-hmm. I saw like one of the first people that was posted on Twitter. This is quarantine. My schedule's all off. I'm up in the middle of the night, and I saw somebody post a video. I'm like, I'm not about to watch a cop kill a black dude because I already know. You kind of get used to what pattern's about to happen. We just saw old dude get killed for jogging. Like, we just saw that. And then you got to juxtapose that against, we've been seeing white people riot over Starbucks and haircuts. And you've been seeing it happen, and nothing has been happening. Like, you've been seeing the response. So it's almost like, I mean, if you believe in God or whatever, it's almost like it's put right in front of you, like, here's an example of exactly what happens when white people do it. Yeah. Now I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to show you what happens when black people do it. And watching police response to, like, okay, you've got people that are angry that a person died, and they are behaving the police are behaving ridiculous. And you see the police handling everybody just a week or two ago with such caution. Police backed off the Capitol when people showed up with guns. Literally said, I don't want to cause a problem. Let's back off the Capitol. Just give it to them. We're not going to meet for the day. And these people are complaining about, I'm just inconvenienced. Yeah. That's it. Like, and that's my thing where it's like you're dealing with people that have no experience with oppression whatsoever. And on the flip side, I hate to say it, Black people, myself included, are so used to oppression that it takes an extreme amount of oppression a lot of times where I'll be like, yo, you literally have to kill people.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, now this is what happened. But I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, I'm not about to watch another cop kill a Black man and get off. Because they're going to come up with every excuse. Like right now, I'm telling you, they about to say this man had a heart attack because he had drugs in his system. That's what they're about to say.
You see them already setting them up for the Okie when they took forever to come up with the charges, and then they come up with manslaughter and murder 3. That lets you know we got the window open right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, the window is wide open.
When you're looking at police reports or the plot, the police, and you get these constant cases, patterns of police lying. Such and such was resisting. Oh well, here's a video of him not. They never really address that. They never say like, yo, you started this whole interaction with this dude because you said he was doing this, this, and this. Something very, very minor. And then you escalated to death.
I think that's why they took so long to even bring the charges up, because they were trying to figure out, okay, if he does get convicted, what is the best way where he won't get completely messed over? They know how to play the game exactly. They know exactly what they were doing. So they were back there. They working nonstop trying to get that figured out. How can we protect him the best way we can?
Yeah, absolutely.
Get life or die in the jail.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and Devaughn, something I'm gonna push back on it a little bit of what you're saying is that, I know that like consciously it feels as though like, you know what, like I'm so used to it, I'm numb. But what these images do and what oppression does, it even though consciously, right, you may say, hey, you know what, time and time again, but what it does is it enters our bodies as Black people, and it then becomes a health issue, right? And so even though we are cognitively, we can say, you know what, I'm dealing with it. Your conscious mind is dealing with it, but your body is not. And so like I'm gonna link it back to the COVID, because like when we think about our high blood pressure, we think about our anxiety, we think about our heart issue, all of these things, like it's connected with being Black in this country, right? Absolutely. Like we think about the burden, right? Like it is a burden, right? Imagine what you could do with your life if you didn't have to walk outside and worry about getting shot and killed. So I'm pushing back on that a little bit, just to kind of bring into
you be white. Like, I mean, we were talking about the protests earlier. There are protests happening in Houston. Somebody texted me and said, yo, somebody jumped on a cop car. They were sending me a video. Like, this is before you were talking about it. I knew it was white boys that jumped on a cop car.
Yeah.
I just knew it. Like, when you live your life and you're like, I'm not worried about it, that's why you saw people, like, getting out here, like, Black people ain't gonna jump in your face because they're like, yo, you can't go to Costco without a mask.
Hey, man,
We're
listen.
not gonna flip over cars for that.
The thing we've been doing, like literally, is watching Karen's Gone Wild and Kyle's Gone Wild. We've been sitting around in our house. Like, this is a whole nother conversation. This is something I addressed on the weekly pod this week, is that Black people have been insulated in a Black existence for the last 2 months. We've been consuming Black media. We've been around Black people. The only people we feel comfortable going around is Black people. Not because we only feel comfortable going around Black people, but because we only feel comfortable going around people we know, and 9 times out of 10, that's Black people. Yeah. So it's an unprecedented time in that we're not in the presence and having to code switch and having to do all these other things that you normally have to do as a Black man. We're not doing that. So we can sit in our little bubble and laugh at, look, Karen's going wild. They fussing in the park because they won't let their kids swing on the park, and it becomes a whole thing. And the cops are like, hey, we're going to need you to back up. And we clapping like, oh, that's great. The way the cops are policing by telling them to back up and get out of the park. The difference is when we see cops policing Black people on TV or on the internet, it's resulting in them dying. And it's the fact that they don't have to think about that. And I got into a whole argument this week about using the term white people. Let's just put that out there right now. Black people use the term white people as a blanket statement. White people mean people who are not Black. because nobody has it as tough as black people.
Yeah.
And when we say white people, that don't necessarily mean Caucasian people coming from Europe.
I mean, those in support of the
Black
suppressors.
Yeah. Or people who enjoy the fruits of privilege.
Yeah.
And I know it can come across if you're not in the community as like we're being disparaging or we're being using the term racism. Let's throw this out here because it's a very interesting question I've been getting all day. Can white people be racist? I mean, can black people be racist? I apologize.
No, they cannot be racist. And so, like, if I can clear the air, right? In order to be like, if you think about an ism, right, whether it be racism, sexism, like heteronormativity, you have to be a part of the power structure, right? A black person cannot be racist because we are not a part of the racial hierarchy. We're not at the top of the hierarchy. Now, can black people be prejudiced? Yes, yeah, we can, right? But racism talks about a racial hierarchy where one group is in power, they control the means, they control everything, and everyone else falls under it. We cannot be racist because we're not on top of that system. So,
I always feel like, even with that question, I feel like we always get stuck in the semantics of it. And it is like a white people thing that puts on us. Like, is it racist? Is it prejudice? Is what, like, you know what it is? Like, one group can cause damage to another group, and we can't really cause damage to y'all like that. It's why we get caught up in that, like when you were saying, like, white people are just not black people. Like, when George Zimmerman happened, we all knew he was white. All black people knew he was white for like a day until white people found out, oh, he's like a Spanish cat. So what y'all mean? I thought y'all said like it's like y'all are playing a game, and it's like y'all know what it is. Like, y'all know when it comes down to it, no matter what culture you are, no matter where you are in the world, if you're dark, you're getting the short end of the stick. Absolutely. Like, I don't care where you are. So it's like, like when they're like, oh, I'm Afro-Latino. Well, if you're dark Afro-Latino, you're probably getting a shorter the stick than the light Afro-Latinas. True. If you're Asian, like the darker you are in Asian culture, the shorter in the stick you get. And if you're black over there, you see what happened. Like, they're kicking Africans out of China almost immediately. So it's like, you kind of get wrapped up in it. And you just see on the other side, it's like, either it's only I'm going to be oppressive, or I'm just going to be like, I'm going to play devil's advocate and waste your time. Like, that's really what it is. Like, it's like, and it goes back to what Horace is saying. It's either I'm slapping you or I'm constantly poking you. Yeah. Like, that's just what it is. And it's like, it's building up inside of you until things break. And then you turn around and be like, oh, well, why y'all so mad? Like, I just don't understand. Like, but I'm not hearing those arguments when 3 weeks ago, people was mad about Starbucks. Yeah. And people was mad about Costco. Yeah. I'm not hearing the, like, why are y'all, I wasn't hearing the, why are you so angry from them? Like, I'm not hearing that as the bold statements.
I got a question, though. And I'm going to start with you, Jamin. Like, what do we think the role is of the term used is white allies. What do you think the role is of our white allies right now? And me and you have had conversations about this, talking about black coffee and saying, why do we call it black coffee? Is it inclusive? We didn't have me and you went back and forth with that. And it was a funny conversation, but really just kind of having that dialogue with you and I. What do you think the role is? Because I don't want someone who follows us, who listens to us, who's like uses our experiences to say, I can understand a little bit of what y'all going through, to feel like they're completely alienated from it. What can our white allies do in a time like this to be helpful?
I like to think of thinking of white allies. I'll speak of Google, man, do no harm, right? Immediately, I've seen it's funny. Carson Wentz made a statement last night via, I think, Twitter or Instagram. He typed up a note, talked about how he grew up in North Dakota around, not a lot of people that were black. He grew up in his small community. And, just went on long-winded, talk about, I've always thought, this was that and that and this. But then he's like, but damn, after seeing this video, after hearing what happened with Malcolm Floyd, there has to be a change with race in America. And I just feel like, you know, that's an honest assessment, right? That doesn't hurt anybody. But then when you feel you need to come out and police how Black people react, like, well, you guys need to wait and see, let the charges come in. But you feel like you're just trying to educate us on how the judicial system works, right? Like, we don't understand how you can get charged with crime and goes through the system. You gotta get charged. You know, like it becomes harmful because then I have to combat your false ideas about how this system works for us versus how it works for you. And so my thing is just do no harm first. That if you can just do that, I think you've done much more than many.
I think that's correct, but I think also you have to speak out when stuff is wrong, man. I think you can't hide behind, I'm good. I've never seen it before. I'm not on this side of town. And man, what's wrong is wrong. What's right is right. You know, and I think you can't allow your friends to do some of the things they do. You have to stand up to them. It's gonna take a little more than just saying, "Oh, hey guys, you know that was wrong." You know what I mean?
And that's hard, but that's why I said, let me push back on you, Los. That's why, because that's a hard thing to do, right? If you grew up in a certain culture, now these are your people. You grew up, and let's talk about us, boys, right? Kids or whatever, you know, 20 something. You know, one thing we was doing, and all respect to our queens, we was chasing after the girls, right?
Yeah.
That was priority number 1, 2, 3. You know, that kind of shaped our conversations, how we talk, how we do things, right? And so it might be something you said, you know, you said in the past to riding ladies that now you say in the company of others, oh, maybe I shouldn't say that, right? But is your boy gonna check you and say, hey man, you can't talk like this no more? That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say it was easy. I'm not saying it's easy.
It's hard. So that's why I said do no harm. Because I mean, for me to tell them to go out and try to go to their dad, or their uncle, or their racist granddaddy, or their best friend, you know, Tom, and tell them, yo, bro, you gotta still chill with all them memes.
I didn't mean go recruit now.
So what we talked about the last time.
Wait. I gotta
go ahead.
Even on that though, like I understand what you're saying. Like even like we're saying as men, you got to push back on sexism. But even with all that, I'm not giving you a cookie because you decide to start treating people right. Like
no,
Carson Wentz, the example you gave, is in the National Football League.
You're doing
like,
the least
like
you do.
I grew up. I didn't really grow up around Black people. Your whole career is around Black people.
Shout out.
And now today you're like, wow.
Yeah, his wide receivers are
it's wild out there. And I'm not just. I don't want to just point out Carson Wentz.
Or was it emotional?
No,
okay, I just use it as an example.
I don't want to just point out Carson Wentz. There are plenty of Carson Wentzes that
Joe Burrow did the same thing today. Just FYI, Joe Burrow said the same thing.
Yeah, there are plenty of Carson Wentzes that we all work with where I'm like, no, you're not saying wow. Today you decided to speak up. You saw this the last time, and you saw it the time before, and you saw it the time before.
But we talked about this the last time we did a woke. We talked about the continuum of racism, and we said that far, far, far on the right is super racism. Those people, those uncles, those people you're talking about who hate Black people, whatever. But we said if you don't push past that 50% threshold unless you actively speak out against the things that are happening to marginalized communities. I mean, that's just how I feel. Duff, it sounded like you had something to go with that.
Yeah, well, it's, I think that, focusing on white allies, it's good, and it's something that we can have an interpersonal kind of reaction to and we can talk with, but I'm really concerned with the ways in which racism is operating systemically. And so what I would tell, if you're going to be a white ally, don't vote Republican. If you're going to be a white ally, vote for the DA that's going to not charge people on some weed or some drugs or try to violate people. Exactly. So I need these white allies to not just be able to have a conversation with me, but to actually have actions that are going to be meaningful and change systems. And so I want us to also just kind of think about the ways in which a white ally is kind of like an individual level, but the ways in which this type of racism, as Jamin was saying, it's this DA waited to find out, okay, well, let's try to strategize to figure out like how we can get this boy maybe not off all the way, but not like go to the pen for first degree. Right. And so
it takes nothing to charge somebody.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
It takes nothing.
Yeah.
And so
charge someone. Like I mean, that's all. You just need a bare minimum of evidence to at least get this into court.
And the evidence is in our face.
The Hennepin County DA told y'all that he was not going to bring charges until he is 100% certain, evident, and then he's going to look at the film again to be sure that there is some criminality involved here before he brings charge. I'm like, my nigga, you have not done that. If you exercise that type of patience in your entire prosecutorial practice, I doubt you would be still be in the job.
It's not a thing.
We're only seeing that level of patience and meticulous working a case when it is high profile cases of unarmed black people dying.
You don't see that on an everyday basis.
Unarmed black people dying.
Watching right now. The world watching.
Minneapolis, that white guy, the black cop, shot the white woman.
Yes. He in the pen now.
He went to jail so quick we don't know either one of their names.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like all of a sudden, when it's a unarmed black man shot, it's like unarmed black woman or man. Like it doesn't matter what it is. If it's an unarmed black person, all of a sudden it's like, we got to look at these facts. Yeah. We got to double check. Because I would hate for somebody to spend a night in jail for a crime they might or might not have committed.
I think what the crazy part of they all go home right after.
He killed that. He went home and they protected his house.
Yeah, and he went home. And he had 100 people out there protecting his house. Like the Arbery, them people went home for a few days after that.
First of all, the guy,
the thing about
they went home for like a few months. Like
they were home.
That been happening.
Yeah. The only reason we saw that video is because their lawyer released it because they thought it would exonerate his
and help
client.
him get off. Yeah, absolutely. Right.
So we would have never seen that.
So the thing about these two most recent ones, I mean, and we're not even talking about Breonna Taylor. That's a whole nother thing.
Right, that's a whole nother thing.
But the Ahmaud Arbery thing, it gives me vibes of, and I hate to be so dramatic sometimes, but it gives me vibes of like a runaway slave, like chasing him down in the middle of the streets and then killing him and lynching him. Like it gave me, like I was watching, and I watch the History Channel all the time. I was watching a documentary today on Grant, on Ulysses S. Grant. And like, white people don't have to watch documentaries where they just show massacres of white people by black people. Like, I got to see that, and I still feel away, even though that happened in the 1800s. But so they gave me them kind of vibes. And then I see the George Floyd thing, and it gives me vibes of quite literally a country that has their knee on our neck since the inception of the country. And you see the physical manifestation of what that idea is, that this country has got black people down like this for years, and I'm watching it, and it's like, we're gonna put my knee in your neck until you die, and it's so
right.
crazy.
I think,
but Aldo,
the lower you are on the totem, right? We just said like the Breonna Taylor thing, and we're like, that's a whole nother thing, but it's not like, it's almost even. I hate to compare them, but it's worth, like, she's gonna be completely erased, and her boyfriend is going to go to jail.
Well, they released him, but
they released him and dropped the charges.
He going to jail. I'm saying, like, it's one of those things where it's like your boyfriend immediately goes to jail, and because you guys broke into a house and killed, and this is not the first time that's happened.
But we need a. If y'all want some more context on that, go listen to our interview with Officer Friendly. He kind of broke that down a lot. He said that's not really a police issue. That's the people who's higher ups who are given no knock warrants.
Oh no
knock warrants are the problem.
No knock warrants are horrible, and they are going to disproportionately.
The police got it. The police got to shoot it. I mean, they got to shoot up that house. If the police going into a house with a no knock warrant and they start shooting at them, they got to shoot up that house.
Okay, but so wait, and so I'm going to interrupt just a little bit because this is how when we talk about, I think people throw this term about systemic racism a lot.
Yeah.
This is the system. The system operates where you don't. Well, but the whole thing is that the system has to operate with or without people who are going to be complicit or conscious about the things going on. It has to be something it's going to work with or without you.
Yes.
You could be black, white, Latino, Asian, whatever. Like, it's going to go, but there are going to be people who benefit from it, right? And so, like, we have to, again, white allies, if you're benefiting from these systems, yes, speak about it, but then also do something about it as well. But Aldo, I wanted to get back to this idea about this lynching, about being dramatic. Do you think that Ida B. Wells or W.E.B. Du Bois understood the lynchings at their time in the way that we do? All they saw was that black folks was getting killed left and right.
Commonplace for them. You
commonplace.
You're right.
And so this is it. We have to look at it within the historical context. It's not being dramatic at all.
No, not at all.
I just think white people never know the feeling of being a black man and walking out of your house and realizing that, the world is against you, and you got to fight that world every day. And then sometimes, I think we go through racism almost every day. We're talking about this on podcast, and some of it you walk by and be like, you know what, I'm not even doing it today. But some of you like, you know what, today I got time. You got the right one. You know what I mean? And then,
I think coronavirus giving us time.
We got time
right now.
You
experience these racism every day. Day in and day out, and then all of a sudden, you just, what? And one day you blow up, they want to know, oh, he angry, that's an angry black man, or angry black woman. Like, no, you don't know.
And coronavirus has also shown that any minor pushback against white people, and they upset.
Yeah.
Like, I was looking at
white people don't like to be told what to do.
No, they don't like to.
Not at all. All of a sudden, for years, it's, yo, why don't y'all just follow instructions? And people gave them one simple instruction. They was like, what are you talking to?
When a society is built upon Negro, go over there and pick that cotton, and I'm gonna tell you what to do.
Yeah.
And in the other, never told what to do.
Yeah.
And then the paradigm is kind of like, no, it's time to tell you what to do. They can't handle that. But in the context of white allies, because I want to push this along just a bit, the number one, quote unquote, white ally, the person we're sitting up here saying should be the next president of the United States, Joe Biden, came out this week and said, hold up, and fearless that Jamin, I'm gonna let you say your piece. But my point is, he said, you ain't black if you're voting for Trump. I got a whole bunch of thoughts on it, but my point, I got a two-pronged question. Was he wrong for the sentiment, and was he wrong for the statement? Those are the two, that's the two things. And I'm going to start with you, Black Coffee.
Look, I'm going to say it like this.
He wrote a J.
He wasn't wrong about the statement, and he wasn't wrong about the sentiment either, because that's how he felt about both, right? Let's keep it a buck. That's how he felt. So if a nigga want to say, get up and tell you how you feel, what's wrong? That nigga ain't wrong. That's how he felt. He felt all you motherfuckers that consider yourselves down and woke. If you don't vote for me, you ain't woke, right? Okay, you not black, right? That's what he told us. Second, and
we bought one of these. We bought one of these for Joe Biden, and we're gonna send it to because it feels like he a card carrying member. But go ahead.
The wardrobe that matches little sentiments.
Joe. So that's just all I'm gonna say about his statement. Is that shit? That's how he felt. So that's how he felt, man. I'm not mad. I'm never mad. That's one thing I do like about Trump. And I hate to say that, right? You like something about this nigga, but you know when he talk, when he say something, that he ain't giving you no BS. Like it's only when he's reading a statement, when he's reading like a statement or some shit. But when he up there talking like that's that boy's feelings, all right? And you can just economy's moving forward like that, right? So. I appreciate Joe for keeping it a buck.
I mean,
go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, Los.
No, I don't feel like that's how he felt, man. I think he came on black radio to try to get some more black people to vote. I don't think that's how he felt. I don't trust Joe Biden like that.
He Bill Clinton saxophoned it.
Yeah. Because he was on there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Hillary Clinton fucking hot sauce in my purse.
TikTok and shit.
and tap dance
But
with black people.
hold
And
on,
I'm still not a Trump supporter. I'm voting for Biden, but I get tired of these white guys that come talk to me. Don't give me the dap. Shake my hand and act like a regular human being. Like, don't tell me what black is. Black, like you've made the same mistakes that Clinton made in the past.
Yeah.
But you've always been a black ally. You know what I'm saying? You're going to make those same things. For black people, we got to recognize, we know how white people, when we're talking about the systems that Horace was saying, are going to act. It's not a matter of your intentions behind it. I think when Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton and other people in the Democratic Party have made moves in the past, they've had good intentions. It's affected black people negatively.
Yeah.
So black people still got to look out for themselves, but you're not going to get out here and play saxophone on there and sitting in a hall show and me be like, oh, you cool though.
It worked though. And that's why I got to push back, bro. It worked. Every time they get out here and pander to us, they come on our stations, they give us a little bit of airtime. Hold up. You got 10 brothers want to put their hands up and die on the sword of Joe Biden now and say, oh, well, he didn't mean that. Oh, he doesn't mean Joe Biden's for us, right?
Which is why I'm saying it should stop. I didn't like it when Clinton did it, and I don't like it now.
The reason he felt comfortable doing it is in 2016 when he was on his way out of office, what did we do as the black people? We came out with a million memes of Smoking Joe. No, I'll get him, Barack. Set me loose, right? Set me loose. That was it. That was our guy.
Which is why I'm against that. It's the reason why, like, Joe Biden did the same thing that, like when a white rapper gets comfortable, and then he's like, "Oh, well, I'm with y'all." Now I'm like, "No, you still white."
Yeah, because Joe Biden. Yeah, look. Joe Biden got me feeling like I'm on the Democratic plantation, and that's the thing. Like he points out, and we are. No, we are, because it's like I'm like I don't have a choice. But if I'm going to, it's not that I don't support Joe Biden by any means, but do I think that he's gonna be better than Trump? I don't have a choice.
Exactly.
I don't have a choice. Exactly. I'm on the plantation. So you want to shuck and jive in front of Charlemagne the God? Go ahead and do that shit. It's just like, I don't have a choice, but it's infuriating still. And it's he played his card. He played that card in South Carolina, and he got it. That's how he got the nomination. He knows that we on that plantation.
But do you feel like
him uncomfortable?
Did you feel like he knew what he was doing though? No. For me, I think that I do actually have a little bit of understanding of age. And I feel like Joe Biden's an old ass dude, bro. And I feel like he thought that was going to hit because he maybe his generation it was going to hit.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
It's hit before.
It hit before for him.
He might have made a joke amongst a couple of his black friends, and then he's like, "Oh, it works." But you also got to have some kind of cognizance about who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
And if you're dealing with black people, and I'm saying black people as a people should stop letting white Democrats feel comfortable.
Like that sounds like Trump's statement.
I still don't like you. Like, I dislike Trump. Just because I dislike Trump doesn't mean I like you. I'm going to vote for you, but I'm going to be on you all the time because I know how you are. Yeah. Like, that's just it.
But that's my point. I had this point. This was the fuss I was in on Facebook today. We can feel the way that we all feel because it sounds like collectively we all feel the same way. We can sit up here and we can talk noise about in our circle. Amongst us, we can talk about Joe Biden and talk about how much of a misstep that was. But the minute we start going out to the public and being like, Joe Biden whack for that, and I don't want to deal with Joe Biden and Joe Biden lame and whatever else, that changes the whole, like, I'm not going to vote for him, quote unquote.
No, I'm definitely not that. Because people, that plays into the hands of your other part. Look, Donald Trump posted that thing on Snapchat with the T.I. song, Don't Want Joe Biden, Need Joe. You see Republicans trying to play into that, I think that was Raheem Maxwell that was like, don't mistake Trump going against Joe Biden like he cares about you.
Right.
Like, Trump don't care about you. Trump don't care. Trump cares very little about black issues. Like, not at all. So I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah.
I would definitely, I'm still voting for Trump, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna just be like, okay, everything Biden do cool. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
my man was out of pocket, and Charlemagne was out of pocket too. Like, y'all gotta stop. White people gotta stop going on the Breakfast Club, acting like, yo, I'm telling you right now, black people as a whole. I'm not saying all of us, but there's a good majority of black people that are not looking to Charlemagne the God for our political opinion.
Yeah.
Like, y'all hop on. Y'all don't want to go on no real
y'all have
show.
to say about this? What does Ja Rule have to think?
Like, that's what I'm saying. Y'all don't want to go on no real show and really discuss black issues. Like, that's it. Like, I'm so, like, going up with Charlemagne and being like, yo, let me say some cool shit, and that's it.
You could go talk to Van Lathan. You could go talk to somebody who
anybody else. Or it doesn't just have to be Charlemagne. Like, why is Charlemagne y'all's one and only black?
Because we then made him that by saying everything like Charlemagne opinion. Because Charlemagne has a good
Charlemagne has a great base.
And he's a great platform. He's a great interview. Charlemagne's dope. I'm not about to let y'all play Charlemagne like he's not.
No. I'm not saying that. But you need to treat black people with the same respect that you're treating all your other voters. You know what I'm saying? You're not just gonna go. If this was white people, you're not going on MTV Jams only.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to MTV Jams Spring Break and I'm gonna talk to all the white people, and then I'm gonna go about my Like, go to MTV Jam Spring Break and do whatever you do, and also go to a real news organization.
Right.
Go talk to some other people. Go set something up. But quit being afraid, because we know when you go to these entertainment venues, you're getting the softball questions. And the softball question is no question. It's just, hey, do you like black people? I sure do. Okay. I like you too. All right, then. Well, you have fun on the campaign, and then we're not gonna see you for another 4 years. So I have no problem with him going on Charlemagne. I'm not like, I enjoy Charlemagne as entertainment.
Yeah.
But you're telling me there's not one other black place that you could go to talk about your issues, and because you don't, that's telling to me. That's telling me like, you're like, yo, I was pandering. Like, I ain't got shit to really say to y'all. So, you know.
Is he gonna get Trump up out of there?
I think so. But it's a toss-up, because Trump
it's a toss-up.
No, I think
it's a wild card.
Variable.
Yeah, I think it's black people out here not voting for Joe Biden as well and finding somebody else to vote for, and that's what's gonna kill us.
My dude hijacked the post office. Like, every time I turn around, Trump is doing something that you never thought somebody would do. Like, you're like, okay, well, this is pretty innocuous. He's like, nah. I'm taking the whole post office. We might shut it down. Like,
his game plan is division. Because if division is happening in this country, he can get the people who really don't like us to come out and vote, or the people who don't like us but secretly don't like us, but and use the economy and whatever as reasons to vote. There is no reason that people should vote for Donald Trump to be the president of the United States again.
Oh wait,
I mean, there's people. If you're a billionaire, look. Yeah, if you're white and you're a billionaire, like the billionaires in this country,
15 of those people should vote for him. Yes.
Yeah.
They don't vote on their one-to-one numbers. When you a billionaire, that means you got a couple billion.
The flex, you got the flex of billions. Get the dumbass, and I say it, the dumbass white people in Michigan and all of these buttfuck places that took their ARs to the Capitol. Like, this is where, like, they don't understand that you have a plight too. Right? Like, and that you are getting pimped out. You on a plantation just like we on a plantation. And so
they just can leave and come as they go.
Exactly.
We got to stay. They just can go home and come back.
Well, it's like
exactly.
It's like Aldo was saying, it's division, right? Divide and conquer. As long as you think you just a little bit better than the black folks, you good. Yep. Even though you ain't never going to be as good as you could be in this capitalistic society where a couple hundred billionaires on everything. But let me say, in terms of those variables about whether 45 is going to get a second term, it's a lot to play. Some of you said the stock market right now is like at 25. The Dow's at 2,500 points. I feel personally, if it's above 27, around 28, come November, niggas folks money doing well. Then you gotta look at whether or not they're still doing social distancing. If that's in play in any way, and people, and if there's another round of this COVID, the incumbent that benefits the incumbent if there's a low turnout.
Yeah.
The folks that so
well, it benefits Republicans anytime it's a low turnout.
Because the low turnout is us.
And he knows that,
and they try to ensure it.
The post office.
And that's what they do. They try. So he use a lot. He's trying to rig the elections. Then on top of it, let's look at the other side of that curve, right? Who's the opponent? Well, we've been going after Smoking Joe, but I'll take Smoking Joe 10 times, on Sunday, right? But who was he gonna pick for his VP? Because if you don't excite,
that's important.
Right? If you don't excite this base, the people who was tearing Joe ass up this last week, it wasn't the old blacks.
Can I ask you something? Can I put a pin in that and just ask you something? One name. Just say the name. Who's the vice president?
Their name.
Oh, you got it.
Blacks aren't the ones that was tearing up Joe Biden's ass this last week. It's this young millennials crowd that said, nah, bro, we ain't falling for the okie doke no more.
Yeah,
Fuck that. You signed the bills. You fucked with Anita Hill. Like, nah, we're going to hold you to your record. But if he come in here with a VP that we down with, say,
who is it?
I have to say Liz Warren or Kamala Harris.
Okay, no, all right, you, Devaughn, who is it?
It's going to be Kamala.
Who is it, Duff?
Shit. It ain't gonna be no Kamala. No. It can be. It can be a Kamala. It can be, but it's gonna be trash, and he's gonna piss it all away.
For me, it needs to be Stacey Abrams. For me, that's who it needs to be.
It should be. I think it needs to be Abrams, Liz Warren, or Kamala.
If I could have went back in time and stopped them from going to that hotel room, it would have been Andrew Gillum. But
Kamala,
I called him before he went. Said, "Don't do
Andrew,
it.
don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
He's
Reconsider."
like, "Hey man, I'm gonna call you right back."
They got some coke in there and a white man. I got to take it.
Kamala and him have a friendship, and I feel like that's what's really.
Her name's Kamala, but go ahead.
I'm sorry, Kamala. I always mispronounce her name, but they have a friendship, so I think that's going to play in. I think that's going to play in heavy.
Jamin, I hope I didn't cut you off. Were you finishing up?
I feel like for me, Elizabeth Warren has been the best candidate for office of president of the United States the past 2 cycles, right? And each time she didn't get to the buck. They keep putting the old white guys at the top.
They keep telling her to go sit in the corner with them notebooks, dog. I feel like, I
don't understand what, she don't have the power brokers, I feel, behind her to make the play. So she make it Secretary of State. So I feel like looking at Kamala, she was a part of that coalition that, they said elected Obama. She's part of that club, which is another conversation, right? Yeah. So, and they look out for each other, right? And Joe Biden is the surrogate, so they're going to look down who's next on the bench, and that was Kamala. So I love Stacey and what she represents. I don't feel like she has enough clout yet nationally. She needs to either get a Senate seat or take that governor position from Kent in Georgia, get some more clout, and then she can be more of a heavyweight. I don't feel like
you see what sounds crazy about that is people was ready to vote for Beto to be the president, and he didn't win. We're not going back and say he need to go back and beat Ted Cruz so that he can run for president.
It's a loser though. But no one in the politics is like no one wants a loser, and that's why Beto was a loser. Like
Beto lost, so that's why he lost his thing. My other thing about Kamala is she dropped out, and it was a surprise. Like she didn't need to drop out, and she dropped out. And then
her campaign was trash though. They were having infighting in her office. I think her sister or somebody, they was all stinking up the place.
That's all rumor and stuff, but she was still polling well. So
but here's the thing.
She was polling well enough to be a problem, and she dropped out quicker than everybody. I mean, look, there's no getting around it. People just didn't want Bernie. So all of them dropped out eventually.
Bro, that was
I didn't get on.
That pissed me off about this establishment politics.
Oh yeah,
you went Amy Klobuchar, Buttigieg, and 2 days later come on. You wait a minute. Amy just came third in New Hampshire. Kamala, you only minority in the race. Kamala, what happened? It felt like somebody put their finger on the scale.
Yeah, they pulled the levers.
Well. Bernie's doing too well. We need to cut these knees out right now.
Okay. I would imagine, like I was saying, I think everybody is going to be in this cabinet when it's over because deals had to be struck.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's
for sure.
If
Bernie
wins and he does that, I think that's what I like about him way more than Trump. I think he'll put the right people around him to make sure he's making the right decisions. You know what I'm saying? I think
because
go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna because let's be real, like he doesn't have all his facilities, and we haven't really talked about that. Like he's old, he's senile, like he don't know what's going on. And
you don't have to when you got the right people around you, though.
And for sure. Like it can.
Trump does it. So
no, he don't care. He don't listen, and he got the wrong people.
I think Trump is insane, and Trump has been able to operate through just controlled chaos. Like my man literally gets up every morning and tweets Obamagate in all caps and made it a thing.
Yeah,
for 4 years.
Organization started investigating something. That'd be like if I was accused of murder and I was just like Allen Gate every morning, and people was like,
right.
"Oh, y'all know what it is."
Oh yeah,
Allen Gate.
You gotta stay consistent.
And niggas like, "Yo,
he on brand, brother. He's staying on brand."
What he do?
Hey, listen, I told you guys before we started. We don't do super long woke episodes. We're gonna cut this thing off in a second, and not because we don't have conversation, because we're gonna leave a little bit of meat on the bone for woke part 4, because we're gonna keep doing this. This is gonna be a recurring podcast, and this was the time to have it. But with these riots going on and everything going out, I just started, like, while I was sitting here, I was writing down points of like things we need to talk about, and I said, let me see how many people I can write down that. Like, because I was thinking about tats. I got cool tats. I got a Black Lives Matter tat. That thing pretty cool if you can see it anyway. But I was thinking about getting another one. I was like, man, I need to get a tattoo of Trayvon Martin. And then I wrote Walter Scott. Then I wrote Mike Brown. Then I wrote Amadou Diallo and Victor White and Alton Sterling and Philando Castile and Eric Garner and Botham Jean and Freddie Gray, Tatiana Jefferson, Tamir Rice, Oscar Grant, Sean Bell, Jordan Edwards, Stephon Clark, Jordan Davis, and I just was writing down names, and I'm like, God, I can't get a tattoo of that because I'm gonna run out of skin. I'm gonna run out of place for that. And I think that it's always gonna be, like we said on the pod this week, it's gonna be a plus at the end. Because and I know this is a terrible thing, but we always say LGBTQ plus means the next thing, whatever's gonna be next, right? And I feel like these hashtags is gonna be plus, because we never know who's gonna be the next George Floyd or Ahmaud Arbery or Breonna Taylor or whatever that is. And, I just want, it's just something to consider. Consider all of the people who we didn't lost in the things that we're rioting about right now.
And the families that messed up too, man. People got kids, significant others, mothers, brothers, that's a family. That's generations that's pain, man. You can't take it away, man. So, those are things you can't fix, bro.
Nah. I'm thinking about those families who have to relive it when they see the next black man getting killed on camera.
They're feeling, man.
Right? Oh.
And to see somebody you love get killed and see the killer do it and see all the evidence against the killer and watch the killer be free. That has to be infuriating. That has to be soul crushing. Where you're like, yo, all of America is looking at somebody that killed my wife, my father, my brother, my sister. And everybody's like, well, it is.
Go on. And I mean, I feel like on some levels, George Floyd's family is probably like, I'm happy people riding for my people. Like, just a little bit. But I'm just going to ask y'all this question. I know this is a weird question. It's a weird flex, but it's a question. If it was you, would you want Ben Crump representing your family?
I don't know when it really comes down to it.
I'm just asking a question. I'm asking a question. What do you mean what's wrong with me? I'm asking a question.
Go ahead.
I'm just trying to figure out, do they call you or do you call them? Like
Ben Crump already there.
Is Ben Crump? I think Ben Crump is like Jim Adler, the Texas Helmet, where it comes on TV like
he got a police scandal.
Like, did a black person get killed in your family? Well, call Ben Crump. I feel like it's like, and it's all a little fine print on TV after Wheel of Fortune every morning, but it only play on Black Entertainment Television after Video Soul and Uncut.
That's the Ben Crump commercial.
Right.
I would want somebody with a good track record. I don't know if that's Crump. I gotta look at Crump's track record.
Crump got everybody. Everybody who just got
No. I'm talking about effectively winning against my murderer. Like that's what I would want
that's,
you
that's
there.
relative because we already said they make they take the time charging to make it where hey we'll be able to get out of this. They set it up to where if you got a decent lawyer, you can win the case. Now if you shot somebody.
Yeah, and not to minimize like the loss of life, but like at least Crump, like when we understand these settlements and stuff. Again, you killed my family member. The least you can give me is some dough.
Yeah,
and so like
that's your dough. That's the state's money anyway. They don't mind giving citizens money. That tax.
Yeah, now I'm just saying in the sense of Crump's of Crump's track record, right? Like he has gotten families like money, right? Like restitution in the sense, but as far as like getting them, like we also again going back to the systems, like thinking about like the cards are against you as a lawyer, like trying to bring charges against a cop.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason I say that is because I know as a kid, people used to I used to live in a neighborhood, in a community, not necessarily a neighborhood, but a community where I would go to school, and anytime racial things would happen in America, people that I went to school with, and it would be white people, because it was only white people and black people where I'm from. It wasn't Hispanic people, it wasn't Asian people, just white people and black people. And they used to say things like, oh, y'all call Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson for everything. And I feel like in Houston, it's like, y'all gonna call Quanell X for everything. But in America, it's like, y'all call Ben Crump. And I just think, I don't know, I get those vibes. Like Ben Crump is just the unarmed black man. We're gonna call Ben Crump.
I mean, Horace does bring up a point though, because like it is a difficult case to go up against. Yeah. So it is a thing where it's like, there are probably a lot of lawyers that are just not gonna take it. Like I'm not getting this publicity to go up against a police force that I lose.
But you gotta have experience in that, and you gotta have experience and already know what they're trying to do, and kind of know how you're gonna attack it, and know how to get the right information.
He knows. Around it. Part of Ben Crump's effectiveness is because he goes immediately to the court of public.
And he probably got a whole bunch of people with him behind him, the Ben Crump and associates.
He learned that from Johnny Cochran, though.
But I'm saying if Johnny Cochran, a lot of these guys, when you're talking about Johnny Cochran, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, they literally had to publicize what is going on. Because if you just handle it in the court, they just be quiet about it. Like, heard you wrong, it was cool, go on home. So it literally takes somebody having to get out there in a big suit or something like that and be like, hey, dog, look at
Harvey daddy.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not big suit and Ben Crump. I was really talking about old school Al Sharpton.
I thought you were talking about
big suit and Ben Crump.
Strike to the knee.
Not big suit Ben Crump. I'm talking about young Al.
Jamin, what you got?
My thing is, with Ben, I'm not too familiar with all the different, like Lee Merritt Esquire. That's the guy that I know. He's the next one. That's
got a big face.
Yeah,
he's gonna be affiliated out there, right? But my thing is, right? If you go to the dentist, do you want somebody that's fresh out of dental school, or you got somebody that are you telling your symptoms? He already know what he about to go check and see. Now, there's a chance he might not be right, but he gonna see something. Like when Ben Crump walk in the courtroom, that I feel like that settlement automatically goes from a couple $100,000 to that's gonna be about $2-3 million because he, and it's a shame that it gotta be away, but that's the game. We gotta use the levers of power that we have available to us, and if that means we getting a celebrity, a lawyer who, if the glove don't fit you, got to quit type, let him come talk because they gonna do it.
I just think it's crazy that a black man's life is worth $3-4 million.
And they can quantify it real quick.
Yeah.
Quick side note.
Listen, go ahead. What you said?
No, because he said something about celebrity and celebrity lawyer. This just made me think earlier. Y'all stop asking rappers like their opinions on anything when it comes to social issues. Like
or Charlemagne, you don't want us asking nobody?
No. It's not just Charlemagne. I'm just talking about rappers in general. Like I love y'all's raps. I'm not gonna call out no rappers, but you put a camera in front of them and you ask them a social issue and they go left.
So you don't want to hear what NBA Youngboy got to say?
God, no.
That's my wife. That's my wife.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm talking about for the fans. If you are a fan of this artist, please tell your rapper to stop. For the rapper,
know what Bootsy got to do say about
it's
everything.
It's not gonna help.
Bootsy.
And Ja Rule. Bootsy, Ja Rule.
Shut up and rap. You don't shut up and rap.
Listen, we out of here, man. Listen, just Devaughn, tell people where they can find out some more information on My Humble Opinion.
myhumbleo.com. In my humble opinion, And we on My Humblo, pretty much on everything, all social media stuff.
All right.
My guy rolled a blunt in the middle.
Black coffee. Give me black coffee.
Ooh, if you wake up in the morning to a blunt and some black coffee,
It's legal in Cali.
Black coffee in the morning, right? Hey, check us out. TheBlackCoffeeCompany.com. That's TheBlackCoffeeCompany.com. Founded by 5 Black men, HBCU graduates, fathers, brothers, sons, dedicated out here, and we potentially reinvest in the community with every transaction. So support your boys. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and we just dropped our podcast because we learned from our boy Aldo and Los. Yo, check us out. The Black Coffee Company. We in the building.
And Duff, I mean, I know you ain't got nothing to necessarily do.
Yeah, nothing to plug.
Go to @DuffRooftop.com.
Yeah, y'all can just follow me in these streets. So,
all right. So if y'all want to follow us in the streets, me and Los about to get out here, and we about to head to Target. So y'all gonna have a great weekend. Make it a best friend weekend. And we out.
Hey, y'all put your orders in right now.
Give me an Apple Watch.
Best friend weekend, we can party all. We can party all night. It's the best of the best. Best friend weekend, we can party all night. Shout out the whole podcast crew. Everybody already know what it do. When you really gotta kill it, ain't nobody gonna feel it. When you really gotta tell them it's my crew. It's best friend weekend, we can party all night. We got Ross moving, Lowe's, Rumble, Aldo NICE.